So, Farron, what have you done to put yourself out there to get work in the creative industry?
I've done quite a lot of things. I think the main thing more than anything was I actually focused on building my portfolio and getting projects underway. I've also collaborated with quite a lot of people, whether that be making clothes, whether that be working on music, whether that be working on films, working on animations, and usually working it in kind of a commercial way where it's always for someone rather than just for myself. I think one of the most important things, if you're a young creative or just anyone for that fact, is the willingness to actually go out there and put yourself out there. So I feel like it's one thing wanting to like make stuff, but a completely other thing to actually like go out there and try get people's attention and knock on doors and knock on 1,000 doors until someone says yes. And I know that's kind of a cliche, and you're like, well, what does that actually mean? Well, it means knock on 1,000 doors until someone says yes. If you have a project you want to get fundraising or finance for, you have to really work hard on getting it. And I think I'm working at a company at the moment called the Big Youth Group, and I'm the head of creative there. And how I got that job was actually by working an internship and working there for free for about 3 months, where I offered to work for free. I bust my ass. I was working there about, I'd say, 30 hours a week for free completely. I live in London. I got like, I got bills to pay for my studio. I got like, money coming out for my business. I got like expenses. Just living in London is expensive, and I was still willing to work for free. And now it's put me in this decent job, which I really enjoy, and I feel like I'm doing good work there, which really matters to me. And I feel like a lot of the time it's doing these free internships. It's about offering value to someone who can give you enormous amounts of value and actually being able to provide something. So I think it depends. Like if you want to get working in like a bar, I mean, look, you can do that, right? But if you want to actually get working like something creative, you got to get good at what you enjoy. You got to like have a kind of like, you got to know what your craft is and define it, and like go into it and then just try provide as much value as you can. And I feel like the more you knock on the door, eventually it's going to fall down and someone's going to let you in. You know what I mean? Well, probably not fall down, they'll probably just open it kindly rather than knocking it down. Aha. So yeah, I just feel like it's just persistence, keep going with it, and then being willing to work for free. I think Gary Vaynerchuk, he gets to the point a lot, and he highly recommends working for free, and this is a guy who owns a massive media company. A lot of the people he takes on did free internships. So look online, Google it, find places. Also, reach out to prospective people if you're creative, right? So if I'm a graphic designer and I go past a small to medium-sized business or even a big business and I see their branding's pretty crappy, I could be like, all right, cool. This may take 2 hours out of my time, but let me create a branding strategy for them and then send it through to someone in their, I don't know, creative team, which I could find online, or I could dig through LinkedIn and find it and see what comes from that. I just think it's about try and keep testing, creating things, and just putting yourself out there with people who could provide more value than you and people who could put you in positions which can help you succeed. And creating strategies, I think creating plan is the most important thing. So if you don't create a plan for how you're going to do it, it's just a bit everywhere, isn't it, really? And like, you know what? This is like one of the 10 pieces of original content I'm making. And after that, I want it to be purely everyone else because I want to learn. Like for me, I don't think I know everything. I'm still learning this as I go on. But I feel like that's the most practical value I can offer in the moment is be willing to work for free, work hard, provide value, increase your value. I know the amount of value you can provide is something which will never ever get fulfilled. Like you're always trying to become better, And I think it's just more than anything, just don't hope for the best. Go out there and make the best. Don't hope for things to just work out. Make it work out. It's the proactiveness rather than just acceptance of fate.
Okay, so you've said a lot about sort of practical steps that people can take to uh, get into a creative industry. What if the person they're maybe not that kind of confident in their abilities, or they're not very good at sort of planning and putting something into action? What kind of advice could you give for people like that?
Well, I could beat around the service and I could say, look, you could just send through digitally. You can create ideas and send it to people. So let's say you're an illustrator or an animator, and you don't feel like you're that confident, right? You don't feel like you're that good with people, which is fine, you know. Like, you might be a bit introverted. That's, you know, people are introverts. You know, not everyone's an extrovert. You know, but I feel like you need to figure out who you want to provide value to, figure out who they are, and create something for them. So I feel like, look, if I'm an employer, right, I'm being honest, and someone comes up to me and he may not be that confident, or she may not be that confident, but their work's good, and they're actually, they could tell they want it, even if they're being a bit weird because they're not confident enough in themselves. Naturally, if you're a half decent person, you're going to get that person a job or a chance. You know, and I feel like you got to put yourself in challenging situations. You know, you can't expect, like, if you realize you have a problem in your confidence levels and about going out there and like speaking to people and getting yourself known, that's something you have to confront yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like no one's going to do it for you, and it's like at the end of the day, I don't think people are bad. I think like it's your, like, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be deeply unconfident with people. Like, I've been unconfident in parts of my life. I have patches where like I feel a bit depressed and a bit weird, and I can't. You know, I think everyone gets like that. But I feel like, you know, I just feel like there's like you got. I think it's maybe your viewpoint on people, and maybe it's like changing the perception. Just working on yourself and trying it, man. Just doing it. You know, like there's a book which Ryan Holiday made, and he's like this really awesome author. It's really into stoicism, and like I highly recommend you read it. It's called Obstacle is the Way, and the idea in this book is that whatever is the obstacle, whatever's the thing you know you need to do, however hard it is, do it, because that's the thing which is going to bring you the greatest result. You know, if you know there's something in the back of your mind that has to be done, or like you're trying to avoid it, don't avoid it. Go head on with it. You know, you got to burn the bridges to take you got to burn the boats to take the islands. Some World War II shit, but you know, like that's what I think. I hope that helps. And like, don't take just my word for it. This is like one of my original pieces of content. This is by original piece of content, I mean it's the one where I'm mainly speaking. Really, I'm gonna have people on the show who know a lot more in this area than me. That's the ideal, and they're gonna tell you, you know. But based off my intuition and based off what I already kind of know and what I've learned and what people have told me, that's kind of what I'll stray towards.
Okay, so
come sign up on the show, man. If you feel like you could help people with this, please, I'm imploring you, come on. Or even have an Anchor phone call chat or something. Let's just get a chat going. But yeah, carry on, Emil. Sorry.
Okay, so what would you say is the biggest thing that has helped you get into some kind of creative industry? What do you think has aided you? Like a good piece of advice you could give people.
I don't feel like I'm where I want to be in terms of like the creative industries. You know, I don't feel like I'm there yet, but from what I've done so far, which is like
from what you've done so far.
What I've done so far, just the willingness to fail and try, and the willingness to just make stuff. Like, I like to make things. As I'm making this podcast, I like to create. Like, I want to make something. I want to produce something. Like, if I'm not producing, I don't just like ideas. Ideas frustrate me. Ideas are great, but ideas alone annoy the hell out of me. There has to be an emphasis on making and doing, creating, and working. And like, I feel like a lot of the things, in order to make something good, I feel like there should be an emphasis on collaborating with people who are better than you and getting around people who are better than you. I feel like you are the five of the people you hang around with. You hear this all the time. Gosh, it's such a cliche, but it's true. Like, if your five friends are like not like creating stuff, you're bound not to create stuff yourself, really. It's like getting around people who are much better than you. You'll instantly improve your game. And I feel like, look, I don't think your five friends should all be creatives. I feel like then you're going to be quite a narrow-minded person who all you want to do is create, which is fine, but I don't think that's like really a healthy way of living. I feel like maybe, in my opinion, I don't know, I may be wrong, prove me wrong. Comment in the section below. Comments. I need to know what you guys think as well. It just can't be me talking and then you're asking me questions and it's going nowhere and it just be like people hearing, oh, that's cool, not saying anything. I need your opinion. It's how I learn and how to provide better content. But anyway, beyond the point. Yeah, just get around people who want the best for you. I think it's more than anything. Like, people who actually want to see you do well. And then ideally these people are better at you than what you want to do. You know, like the people I work with mainly are all better than me at what I do. But these people are really good at what they do. So ideally one day, the more they challenge my thinking, the more they see my work and tell me where I can improve, the more I work with them, the better I'll naturally get. And then it's about improving yourself on the side as well and learning your craft more individually and then bringing it to the group or your friends. And ways you can do that, meetup.com, go on LinkedIn, message 100 people, ask for a coffee. It's as boring as that sounds or as weird as that sounds, do it. What's other way? Go to networking events, you can find them on Google. Apply for free internships. Apply to a uni. If you want to study somewhere, you can meet other people. What else? Just create something of value and go on slide in people's DMs. You know, like I've done that. Like I've slided in people's DMs and met people who are like creators and like, you know, we work together. That's cool. Great way of meeting people. And I think like if you have a conversation before, it's not like they're gonna kill you. Although you should be careful for that. Prepare pepper spray. Psst.
So the key.
Not the key. I don't think there's one key. But
well,
yeah.
no. But one of the
keys,
key principles is just be proactive and just don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
That is it. That's okay. Maybe that's the key. But like, no, that's like one. Yeah, no. I feel for me, that's a value I have. Like, I think it's a value. Like one of my deep values is being proactive and not fearing failure. But then like not harming anyone else in that process as well.
Okay, cool. Thanks for your time,
Cool.
Farron.
Yeah, no, thank you again. Like I said again, follow us on Collective Connect on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, if you think somebody could really benefit from this content which I've just made, I highly recommend you share it with them. If you guys think anything different or have any ideas for how you can actually go about getting a job in the creative industries, or if you're a young person who got into the creative industries yourself and have a story to share with people, I'd love you to come on, DM me. We can make this happen. Email me on the website. Get in contact with us. We'll make this happen. I'll come to you. We could do an Anchor phone call chat. You could come to the studio. We'll make this happen. We'll make this awesome, and you could share your story with people to hear. But anyway, all in all, I love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. And yeah, have a blessed week, a blessed month, and be willing to work for free. Cool. Thank you, guys. Oh, bro, it's so much easier.